Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have a lot to cover in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam because, frankly, XRP is a market leader. I'm going to show you a chart of XRP's wallet count increase. There's a new chart. It's on the XRP rich list, and it's glorious. It shows continued adoption, even in times like this, where some are saying it's a bear market. And even if it's not a bear market, there's a lull in terms of excitement right now. So kudos to you for being here and still paying attention to crypto markets in general. But it's interesting to see still an increase. Also, XRP pumped the other day within the last 24 hours. At one point, it was up, depending on which source you go, it was like up over 9%, while the rest of the market was still in correction mode. That was interesting to see. And XRP, frankly, it had been oversold, so I'll highlight that. I'll also highlight from an AMB Crypto article that XRP shorts were liquidated. That is absolutely glorious to see, and it was in the millions of dollars, by the way. Also, I want to share with you some thoughts from David Schwartz, who, of course, is Ripple CTO and co-creator of XRP and the XRP Ledger. He actually talked about Jack Mallers and Strike. Now, Jack Mallers, he's the founder and CEO of Strike, which is directly competing with Ripple, but they're utilizing Bitcoin and Lightning Network, which is an inferior tech stack, and they've been running into trouble. I've been highlighting that. Well, David Schwartz actually had something to say about that. I'll be sharing with you that in this video. Also, I'll be highlighting Bitcoin long-term holdings 1 year plus are at an all-time high. Bears where you at? I mean, even if this is the bear market, this is the best bear market for crypto I've ever seen in my entire life. If this is the bear market, I will take this. Hell yeah. So I'm not saying that it is, but if it is, this is fantastic. And also I want to share with you some thoughts from Dan Moorhead, who is the CEO and founder of Pantera Capital, the first hedge fund that offered Bitcoin in the United States ever, who happens to be a very pro XRP guy. And I want to share with you some of his thoughts in terms of what's going on with the markets in the short term. So again, like I said, plenty to unpack here. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say. All right, I'm just a simple little Moon Lambo doing Moon Lambo stuff all up in this bitch, making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but to be clear, just as a hobby and just for fun, damn it. And if you don't like it, well, you can just get out. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 78 cents, Bitcoin at $40,494, market cap for the asset class 1.91 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 40.18%. And here's the 24-hour XRP chart. I wish it went back a little bit further because the pump started, I guess it was a bit before that, but recently we saw XRP down to 69 cents, and it popped up over 80 cents. And again, it's currently, as I'm recording this anyway, at 78 cents. The rest of the market was flat. Well, most of the market. There was at least one exception. You know what it is? Some of you do. Stellar XLM, Stellar Lumens XLM, pumped at the exact same time that XRP did, which is interesting because it's not like something happened with those two together. It's certainly not based on any sort of fundamental development. They're two completely different ecosystems, separate blockchains. But the market frequently, and I've seen this a number of times over the years, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. In terms of pump action and pullback action, sometimes when the rest of the market is doing its thing, you'll see XRP and XLM just moving in lockstep directionally. It's the weirdest damn thing. And so as far as what humans are actually thinking out there, that's where the speculation comes. And I'll just say this, XLM is a literal clone of XRP, and the code was tweaked a little bit, and it's viewed very similarly by market speculators. So that's as close as I can get to an answer for you. Because, and that's probably a pretty decent answer, to be honest with you, because this market's highly irrational. So at least I can say that. These markets, they do not make sense. It's complete craziness that's going on here. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 28 out of 100, indicating market participants are still in fear mode. Somebody out there's having trouble sleeping. But I'll tell you what, when I go to sleep, I'm going to sleep like a baby because it don't make no damn sense to be worrying about short-term price action. Here's the XRP rich list. I've highlighted this a couple times recently. Well, I noticed that the creator of the XRP rich list, his name is Francis. He's at Swift Bovine. If you want to follow him, it's at the bottom right here, at Swift Bovine, where my mouse is. If you want to follow him all up on the Twitters, feel free to do so. I know he'll appreciate the support. But he added this graph, which is on the right of your screen. It's the historic wallet count. This particular graph goes back to what looks like February 24th, actually. Okay, so a little less than 2 months. And in a little less than 2 months, you can see all it does is nothing but climb. And mind you, again, this is during like a scary time in crypto. This is the lull, and you still had total wallet increase from 4,090,000-ish. I'll just use it, 4,090,000 wallets up to today, 4,150,000 in less than 2 months. And this is during a lull. And so just consider this. Before XRP started pumping during the last market cycle, there were less than 700,000 wallets. And we had that all-time high break over 4 years ago, and we still haven't hit it yet. I'm telling you, and I've made this analogy. I haven't made this analogy in like a long time, but it's kind of like a hose, like a kinked hose. It's like if you kink it, the water stops coming out even if the faucet's on, but then when you unkink it, it squirts out really fast. Well, that's kind of what happens to crypto markets. You know, you keep seeing all of this pent-up demand, like people buying XRP. Clearly, more people are jumping into the market, very clearly, at a very steady pace. I think it's pretty reasonable to say. And all these people buying, but the price action, it's still mostly moving in tandem. Eventually you reach this breaking point. Historically, this is what happens. And that's why, even though historically XRP moves sideways longer than most cryptos, when it goes, it really goes. It's just like when you unkink the hose, the water shoots out extra fast for a moment. It's like, bam, that's what happens with XRP, just shooting up into the stratosphere. So yes, all these millions and millions and millions of people jumping into the XRP ecosystem. And I think, by the way, it's a lot more than 4,150,000, because I have a hunch, I can't prove it, but I have a hunch that most people don't take self-custody of their crypto for XRP or any, pick your cryptocurrency. I think most leave their crypto on exchanges, and exchanges use shared wallets. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually tens of millions of XRP holders, with just a small percentage of them actually taking self-custody. So to see this move up, fantastic. There's probably that many more that have XRP sitting on exchanges, and they just haven't, and maybe they don't care because, like, well, it's a small amount. It's kind of a hassle to figure out how to do the wallet thing. And like, exchanges usually don't get hacked. You know how it is. I'm sure there are people out there listening that have done that. And so nothing against you. I'm not sitting here judging you. I'm just, you do whatever you want to do. I like to have my crypto off exchange unless I'm going to sell it, and I'm not selling right now. So all of my XRP is in cold storage, and I've got multiple XRP addresses. But it's just neat to see, again, this keeps happening. What do you think is going to happen in the end? At some point, there's going to be this tipping point, and it's just going to burst. So this is one on-chain metric that I'll continue to watch, and I'll continue to highlight from time to time. Look at this headline from you today. 3 reasons why XRP is among market leaders with 7.6% pump. And again, it actually was higher than that, depending on what point in time you're talking. And I don't want to read the whole article, but I did want to highlight part of it, because they're talking about XRP being oversold, which is true. It was oversold. It reads as follows. In addition to receiving a boost in purchasing power after reaching the support zone, XRP was also heavily oversold on intraday timeframes like 4 hours. The relative strength index's value dropped to approximately 20, which makes XRP a heavily oversold asset, which usually leads to a short-term bounce. So folks, what is the lesson here? When things get scarce and price go down, historically, that means it's a good time to buy. So I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything specifically. I'm just sharing ideas that I think personally make sense. When the price goes down and people are panic selling, if you're in the buying mood, there is a chance it might make a lot more sense to purchase then rather than after the pump happens, because otherwise, either you're in the position when things really pump or you're not. If you jump in afterwards, you just missed a multiplier effect. And it could be life-changing. It's like, for me, I'm just going to sit here and either my bet's right or wrong. It's going to be one of those things. Either XRP goes, because it's a binary thing. Like, as far as I'm concerned, XRP, success or failure, it's totally binary. Meaning, if you fast forward a sufficient length in time, whether it's a decade or whatever, either XRP is worth 0 or it's worth way more than it is now, because the utility is that incredible. I'm betting it's the latter. I think these are the very early days. And then there's this article from A&B Crypto titled, "Third Time's a Charm, Can XRP Breach the Crucial Supply Zone This Time Around?" And they noted that Schwartz got absolutely wrecked thanks to this recent pump that we had within the last 24 hours or so. Reads as follows. According to data from CoinGlass, over $3.1 million worth of shorts were liquidated in the recent 9% rally. See, that's why I just don't play that game. I have no interest in adding stress to my life and all this uncertainty and trying to pick up a point here, a point there with the short-term games like the traders do. I'm like, no. I'm just going to hold for a number of years because data shows that's how you make money. It's true in the stock market. We have over 100 years of data proving that. And it's been true to this point for the 13-year history of the crypto asset class. The people that hold, even if it takes years and years and years, it still happens. And crypto it happens way faster than the stock market. In the stock market, it's pretty normal to double your investments every 10 years. Well, now you could do that on a Wednesday afternoon, you know, if the markets are getting pumpy. You know what I'm saying? So the point is, and yes, there can be years of sideways trading, of course, especially if you jump in at the beginning of a bear market, so on and so forth. Yes, of course, I understand. But I'm just saying things happen in crypto much, much faster. And then there was this from an XRP community member named Adam Moore, who tagged me along with my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer. And Adam wrote the following, which I thought was interesting, rather thought-provoking. He said, "Crazy to think, I only entered the XRP army in October 2020, but I've been here for 1/5 of its entire existence. I feel late, but I know I'm early, #XRP. Well, isn't that the truth, Adam? See, that's a really good way of looking at it. And it got me thinking too, admittedly. I've been here since November of 2017. And so I've been here almost 50% of the time that XRP has existed. Almost half the time XRP has existed, I've been here. And XRP was technically created at the beginning of June 2012. The blockchain didn't actually go live until, I think it was technically the end of 2012. I think it was December. Could have been early 2013, but I'm pretty sure it was the end of 2012. I'd have to look it up again. But again, technically XRP's birthday, it's the beginning of June 2012. I just don't remember the exact day. But this June, that's 10 years. And so I'm just sitting here thinking, I remember jumping in 2017 and being like, I wish I knew about this sooner. But I also knew while I was saying that to myself, that's silly talk, whatever. The truth is, I was early back then. I've now been here 50% of the time XRP's existed, just about. And so if you're here too, even if you just jumped in and you haven't been in here, even if you've been here a week, whatever it is, you're early to the party. You are so early, it's very rude of you to show up this early. The host of the party is not yet ready for you to attend. Go back home. It's that early here. And so when you think about it in these terms, it's very clear, like, this stuff hasn't been around that long. The market hasn't had enough time to figure out what deserves to be here for the long haul. But my gosh, it is indeed coming in terms of fundamentals mattering, price pumping, an all-time high in entering price discovery. As far as I'm concerned, that's what's probable. No way to know for sure. I'm not pretending there are no risks. Of course, there are risks in holding XRP or any cryptocurrency. I never want to pretend that that's not the case, but I'm willing to take this bet. I'm happy to take this bet. I've been doing it for long time now. Approaching roughly somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.5 years at this point for me. Just about be 5 years this November. Now, there was this clip that was shared by Crypto Eddie, my fellow XRP YouTuber, and it was a clip from the Thinking Crypto YouTube channel, which Tony Edward runs, and he interviewed Ripple CTO David Schwartz, who, again, of course, is co-creator of XRP and the XRP Ledger, and I actually transcribed what was stated here, and it has to do with Strike, and it has to do with Jack Mallers, the founder of Strike. They've been having some trouble. I made a video where I highlighted the absolute train wreck that the CNBC reporter encountered upon trying to use the Strike app to get Bitcoin and purchase stuff at the grocery stores the way that it was touted by Jack Mallers. Jack Mallers says, hey, this is live. It's working today. You can do this. It's completely free. Yeah, except for it wasn't free. There actually was a fee that was unexplained. There was a double spend problem, not on the Bitcoin blockchain. It was due to the app. I don't know the specifics of it. The reporter never found out, but there was a double spend. Again, not the Bitcoin blockchain, but there was a double spend problem with the app. It took them 2.5 hours to get the Bitcoin. I mean, just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. It was a complete disaster. And so maybe they figured out, maybe Lightning will ultimately work one day, but they're having trouble here. And here's what David Schwartz had to say about this. And this is an actual quote from him. He said, I think the type of thinking that's reflected in what Jack Mallers said is the type of thinking we had in the early days. Oh, we'll just sell software to banks and they'll just use XRP for their payments and it will all just work. And I think that the last 10 years have proved that it's not quite that simple. There are a lot of sort of sub-challenges that you have to get right. You need enterprise-level software. You need to solve the last mile. You need to package at the integration level so that every customer doesn't have to figure out how to interoperate with every other customer. I think what he's saying is that they solved the easy part, but everybody has solved the easy part already. We had the easy part solved, 7+ years ago. So I'll just pause to note, and I've said this many times, which is why that really stood out to me. I've said what Jack Mallers is showing is basically the same tech demo that Ripple was showing back in 2015. How many times have you heard me guys say that? And so then in this brand new interview on the Thinking Crypto YouTube channel, David Schwartz said, we figured this out 7 years ago. How about that? Well, I wasn't kidding. It really is basically a tech demo. It's equivalent. It's the same damn thing that Ripple did 7 freaking years ago. That's the part they figured out. They don't seem to have figured out the rest yet. They've got their work cut out for them, as I keep saying. So that's why, although this is touted as the XRP killer, not really the case. David Schwartz continues. The hard part is managing the volatility of crypto assets. That's a hard part. The analogy that I think Ashish might have used is this. And by the way, I'll just pause. He's talking about Ashish Burla. That's a Ripple employee. He's the general manager of RippleNet, one of Ripple's original employees. And so he says, the analogy that I think Ashish might have used this is like saying GM can compete with Tesla because they can just buy batteries. Like, no, not really, right? Tesla had to figure out how to do everything right. And they're still struggling at the margins and the details of like producing a quality product. So it is not that simple. I think what they realized is that the easy part is easy. And we realized that a long time ago. Regulatory is another big one. Like it takes years to get regulators comfortable. We've designed the way on-demand liquidity is done, where the customers are not exposed to the crypto and getting regulators comfortable, going to central banks. Again, I'd say he's discovered that the easy part is easy. Isn't that the truth? Good luck out there. And don't forget this too. Not only are they behind time-wise, they're 7 years behind Ripple in terms of when they launched their tech demo. They also have an inferior tech stack. Good luck. You're gonsta need it. You gonsta need it, son. Now take a look at this. From OnChain analyst Will Clemente. I'll make this chart full screen. This is really cool stuff here. Again, just think back to 2018. That was a bear market. If things are completely cyclical, something's different here this time. To some degree. Now, I'm not saying that the market structure is broken. I don't know that for sure yet. It could just be, as many have said, that it's lengthening. Others are arguing, no, it's gone on so long that it's not just a lengthening cycle. This is the bear market. It's just really shallow. Now, if that's the case, that's amazing. Which means that there's going to be way less scary times. But it also means that the potential upside's not going to be what it used to, where you could expect, like, with top cryptos, 100-fold increases. Which is what I've been saying for years. That's what we're going to get into. As more money enters the space, it takes that much more money flowing in to get the multiplier effect. So yeah, of course, with each subsequent market cycle, although the dollar jumps are much greater, the percentage increases are much less. That's what you can expect. And the percentages are what really matter, right? But anyway, here's what Will Clemente said in the charts on your screen. An all-time high, 63.7% of Bitcoin supply hasn't moved in at least a year. Folks, where are the scared people that we saw in 2018? Where's that? Where are they? Because look, you can see, do you see how many people sold after January and even into the summer of 2018? Do you see where my mouse is? Like the people were selling. That's why the number of accounts held for 1+ year, way down. Panic selling. Like, it's different, folks. And again, either it's that we have a lengthening cycle or this is the shallow bear market. Which is it? I'm just as curious as you, to be honest. I've been hoping that it's just a longer cycle and we're going to just see that euphoric blow-off talk at the top and then have like an 85% pullback. I'd prefer that, honestly, to just get this done with so I can sell at a much higher price. But if it's going to take longer, so be it. We can't control this, whatever. I'm still here for this life-changing wealth. I don't care. It's fine. In the end, not really. I'm still going to get mine because I am Mr. Patient. You will not outpatient me. I've never sold a single XRP. I've never cashed out in United States dollars, and I won't until I'm sufficiently enticed, period. Now take a look at this from the Daily Hodl. Pantera Capital warns investors will flee stocks, bonds, and real estate this year, predicts massive crypto rally coming. And they're talking about Dan Moorhead, who, again, is the founder of Pantera Capital, the first Bitcoin hedge fund in the United States. He's very pro-XRP, by the way. In fact, he said within the last year and a half or so that if you fast forward a decade, XRP will be one of those few cryptos that still exist. He thinks almost all of them go away. He said there may be like a dozen or so. And XRP is going to be one of those that if you fast forward a decade is still here. That's his personal professional opinion. Piece reads as follows. The head of a major American hedge fund thinks the crashes and pumps of Bitcoin will be less volatile going forward. Oh, isn't this on point to what I was just saying? It's funny how it's almost like I planned this to segue perfectly from the last thing I was just talking about. Oh, the skill Moon Lambo has. That's why you're subscribed, right? Are you not subscribed? Well, that hurts my feelings. In a new blog post, Pantera Capital CEO Dan Morehead says more institutional ownership of Bitcoin and a higher Bitcoin market value will moderate the top crypto assets price swings. And here's a quote. While we've had two minus 80% bear markets already, I believe those are a thing of our primordial past. Future bear markets will be shallower. The previous two have been minus 61% and negative 54%. Unfortunately, there's no free lunch. The flip side is we probably won't see the 100x rallies anymore either, end quote. Now, Morehead argues that the current bear market is finished and Bitcoin has moved onto a new rally cycle. So let's pause to note. He argues that the bear market apparently already happened. I can't wait to see who's right. Who's right? Is he right? Is the blockchain backer right and Bitcoin's in a bear market? We are going to see a big crash? Are other people right when they say no, the market cycle's not over and we're going to see a blast off for Bitcoin over $100,000? Oh, it's such an interesting time to be alive. Anyway, here's the quote, because again, he's arguing that Bitcoin has moved on to a new rally cycle. Here's the quote. The next 6 to 12 months are likely to see a massive rally as investors flee stock, bond, and real estate markets for blockchain, end quote. Now that part's interesting because if you're talking about market participants fleeing stocks, that's the thing where I really have a question mark and would love to pick his brain because stocks, historically, they lead crypto markets. So when there are big moves one way or another, crypto just follows. So if you're talking about investors fleeing stocks, you're telling me that this time's going to be different and they're going to like plow money into crypto? Okay, I'd love that. I don't know. I would love to know more about his rationale about that, but I wanted to report it because this is somebody who I think is incredibly sharp, lots of experience. I mean, this is what he does for a living here. So I respect his opinion for sure. Anyway, the CEO also notes that Bitcoin in early April was 56% below the 11-year exponential growth trend, which he says is a rare level of cheapness for the Bitcoin market. And so there you have it, folks. I'm just saying, in a general sense, what the hell is there to be afraid about? Next time price goes down and you feel stupid emotions, just choose to not have emotions, because that's what I do. Emotions are stupid, so I just don't have them. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, again, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And just be clear, there's a reason that I put these disclaimers at the beginning and the end of each video. I'm trying to make it super duper crystal clear so that even if somebody as unintelligent as a Bitcoin maxi troll would listen to this channel, they would know better than to buy anything. If I tell you to buy a bologna sandwich, don't take that advice. All right, I'm out here. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.